Alright, nobody else will believe me, but I know the truth. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is about to be destroyed for good. If you thought our heroes were lucky to get through Thanos, that's nothing compared to Galactus and the Black Winter.
Galactus must feed.
Ever since I saw this video from Film Theory about how Thor will destroy the MCU, it's got me thinking about what's coming next when the MCU is back in action. You see, in the comics right now, Thor is setting up a bold, terrifying new arc for the Marvel Comics world. He ended up teaming up with Galactus as his herald in order to fight against a greater threat called the Black Winter. This metaphysical monster annihilates whole universes, shrouding them in darkness. Just to show how large a threat it was, they gave us a look at how the Black Winter had already wiped out the DC universe. In a world where movie studios weren't constantly competing against each other, we might get to see that happen on the big screen. Imagine seeing short glimpses of Superman, The Flash, Batman, and Wonder Woman in a Marvel movie, only for them to fall against an inky black void that devours everything in its path. You see, in the time before the Marvel Comics universe was even a thing, the cosmic being we all know as Galactus was just a regular guy named Galen of Ta. Then his universe was set to meet its naturally occurring end. There have been many accounts as to just how this went down, but the most recent involves the Black Winter consuming everything except Galen. He then became a cosmic entity that ate planets instead of whole multiverses. It seems inevitable that the Black Winter will come for the Marvel multiverse. Sure, Thor seemed to take both Galactus and the Black Winter down for good, but we know better. Both will return, and I think they will be in a form even more terrifying than we've seen before. If Galactus and the Black Winter combine into one entity, there would be almost no way of stopping them. While I think the Marvel Comics universe will pull through against this threat, I think the MCU will be eradicated by it. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is set to come out and change the Marvel Universe forever. The good doctor will follow up his showdown with Dormammu with a whole new world-jumping adventure. One thing has been bothering me though. Now that Strange no longer has the Time Stone, how are they going to explain Dormammu's lack of interest in Earth? Well, what if Steven goes back to visit his old enemy only to find out that his realm is empty, that some greater force has wiped him out? I mean, Thanos wiped out half the population of the galaxy during the Infinity Saga. Continuing on, they will have to seriously up the ante to keep the power scaling up. A world-devouring challenge isn't nearly as big a deal as it used to be. A universe-devouring threat, though, even Captain Marvel would get nervous about that. If Strange comes across a Black Wintered Galactus, it could mean multiple things. For one, it could mean that the MCU is the next iteration of the universe after the Marvel Comics universe finally ended. The combined threat that the comics Thor accidentally helped create could be the next MCU big bad. Kevin Feige is taking more creative control over the entire Marvel line. It's possible that they are now creating stories specifically for the MCU. You gotta admit, it would be cool to see a crossover between the classic Marvel characters and their MCU counterparts. So within each Marvel comic releasing now could be dozens of clues that point specifically towards where the MCU is heading. This would be a brilliant piece of synergy if MCU fans who don't read the comics were now given extra incentive to read the books. All of us could end up being Tom Hanks from the Da Vinci Code, analyzing each comic to figure out just what Feige is trying to tell us. So what else would a big Galactus cameo in Multiverse of Madness mean? That Strange will need to call in the Avengers, not just our Avengers either. Such a massive threat will need a massive response, far beyond what the MCU is capable of now. Doctor Strange may end up traveling to alternate worlds to gather a massive team of heroes to fight against the literal destruction of everything. Most notably, Strange could land in the X-Men universe, where he will bring those heroes to the MCU to make a last stand. Get it? Get it? If nothing else, Professor Xavier's incredible psychic mind could prove to be an epic weapon against Galactus. The true MVPs that Strange could pull from an alternate world are the Fantastic Four. Reed Richards alone could be enough to turn the tide. His specific brand of genius could be integral when constructing a weapon that could defend everything against Galactus. Such a huge threat like Galactus could prove to be a way to fix several MCU problems while destroying everything. As the Black Winter descends upon the MCU, our heroes could save the multiverse by combining all universes into one. I mean, they're gonna have to figure out a way to bring Captain America and Iron Man back at some point, right? While that would be awesome, the cost of seeing all our heroes destroyed and replaced with new actors could be pretty hard. I mean, we're kind of used to it with the Hulk at least, right? So you never know. Now you know the truth about Galactus and the MCU. Do you have any ideas of your own? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more from CBR. Thanks for watching, see you next time.